This program is brought to you by Vyas Studios, supported by Bid Lab, quality you can count on, supported by Doctor at Home, a helping hand in times of need. I was reading about things in India as well, you know, where India had, there were tons of, when I was watching the news as well, what was happening in India on the second wave, there were tons of young people creating groups where they took help from psychologists, from people who are educated on this, and they were connecting people who wanted help as well. Yeah. Right? Even in our case, within our country, I saw that as well. Last time on the previous pandemic, on the first wave, I saw that a lot. Yeah. Now it's openly out there as well. Internationally, where do we stand when it comes to mental health all around the world? Where do we stand? It's a question for you as well. Where do we stand when it comes to, in a global perspective, when it comes to mental health?
I think that's too big of a question. Where do we stand in terms of mental health? We have an act, we have services, there's capacity, there's resources, but then where do we stand in terms of how we can continue developing on them? You see, the spectrum is too large.
In a country like ours, right, where we're just opening up and we're just talking about it, in a country like, let's say, a Western country, right, where, like you said, the UK, or let's go to the US, or let's go to other European countries, right? Finland being one of the happiest country in the world, where I'll give you an example, rather than a Scandinavian country, Norway, where my brother is. It's dark all the time. People are not happy.
The weather.
Right? Yeah, the weather is shit. You know, it's down the shitter. A lot of people, my brother told me this, I don't know how true this is, but there is a specific place where people go there to kill themselves.
Oh, there are places like that have been documented.
Right. So, because of the weather as well. You know,
we have SAD, right? Seasonal affective disorder.
People don't talk about things like that. People don't talk about how important it is to take your vitamins. You know,
people don't, or people do?
No, people don't. A lot of people don't talk about how important vitamins are. I'll give you a good example of vitamin D in this country. I've talked about this before. I've talked about this before, right? How important vitamin D is in your life. How important sunlight is in your life, right? A lot of people, again, either we don't know about this in our country, or we just ignore it, or we just don't know any information on it, right? These are the things that need to be advocated more. Don't you agree with me on this?
Of course.
How do we make it happen is one thing that I talk about all the time. You know, health professionals like yourself, you know, there are tons of other health professionals as well, you know. Talking about it more would make a difference.
Absolutely.
Lobbying about it a lot would make a difference.
Advocating for mental health on so many different levels. So on shows like this, on, you know, more articles, and it's like it's a tiered level actually, right from your home, right from your close family, your friends. Talk about it more. Don't laugh about it. You know, normalize that this can actually happen. You know, we don't laugh about a fracture in your hip. You know, how do we then stigmatize and say, oh yeah, esto pagal bhoyo bhane we don't get treatment for that? It should be the same thing, right? It's not manasik rog. It should be mental health, physical health. It's not physical disease, is it? Right? So it's about being able to normalize from bottom up, right? From, again, so family, your friends, the media, pop culture even can start, you know, pouring out information, and then our government.
Supported by Bid Lab, quality you can count on. Supported by Doctor at Home, a helping hand in times of need. This program is brought to you by Vyas Studios.